at this point, Mega B-Falls will give us better benefits. Which, again, at this point is only really relevant to I almost said dexterity. It's kind of funny, because I actually think of the 5 social stats, they do kind of corresponds to a lot of the D&D stats in a way. Like, if you think about it as courage is strength, diligence is dexterity, expression would be charisma, understanding would be wisdom, and knowledge, obviously, is intelligence. Yes, quite the coincidence. From what I've found, I don't think Naoto gets access to bike hangouts until mid-November, which is kind of a shame, because her bike skills are amazing. They are, like, easily the, like, it's kind of weird how Yukiko and Naoto both have great bike skills, and everyone else's are just really mediocre. In a way, I kind of prefer how they did it in P5, where it's just the same pool of bonus skills that anyone can get. You just choose who gets what skills. You could even do something kind of silly like concentrate Ryuji if you wanted to. I kind of like to try that sometime just for the lols. Or charge Arn. So yeah, normally I think this is actually what would push us up to Risei's rank 10. I mean, she wasn't even present there, so maybe not. Maybe it's only like Chie, Yosuke, and Strength. But today, what we're going to do is we're immediately going to head into town and get a Fortune Persona, which I did fuse earlier, because we're going to finally start actually making an effort to hang out with Naoto. Oh boy, that is expensive for the lowest level Persona of that Arcana. I am definitely going to need to get a lot more money the next time in the TV world. Yes, it's almost like you and your sister are not literally the same person. Naoto's always down here. Oh boy, you're out and about, huh? Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. But talking to her is actually amazingly beneficial because we get the male Gekkoukan uniform. My other favourite costume in the game, bias alert, after the Phoenix Ranger ones. Oh boy. There actually, I think, are even more exam rewards. I think Miss Sofue has one too. Yeah, 2 more Mystical Scarabs, which are full SP heals. We do have Risei's skills, so we're not totally reliant on those now, but they're nice to have. Oh, there's actually nothing. Maybe that doesn't come until later. And Kashiwagi is gone! Okay then. And she just said the male version, but I think, like, we have, I think we have this for all of the male party members now. Yes, we do. So, yeah, I'll be sure to show that off next time we're in the TV.
Hello.
But what I was actually coming here to do was to talk to Naoto. I'm sure, Naoto/you shippers like that wording there if Naoto has asked you out. It's definitely not romantic yet, though. Yeah, Naoto's very easy to find. She's just on the first floor and she always hangs out around that corridor. And as I would have said in the bio, her social link is also available on rainy days, so that's sometimes. Whenever you're underneath this gazebo, it's available on a rainy day, but obviously without knowing the ranks in advance, you can't know which ranks are under here and which aren't. Well, that's what we thought about the threat letter, but that's clearly not one. This is something that she needs to learn to do sometimes. You'd have to be pretty bold to rob a famous detective's place. Yeah, we kind of heard that already. Okay, then. Anything related to a past case or something? Or maybe it's related to this case.
Yes.
Maybe this was a calling card. Naoto is, as you can tell, really not used to having friends. So second rank of Naoto's Social Link gives you Invigorate 1, restores 3 SP per turn. Effectively, it means a 3 SP discount off Volvo skills. That's the way that I like to think about it, and I doubt I'll ever use Temper Slash, so I may as well get rid of it. The Invigorate skills aren't, like, totally necessary on Naoto,
I'll see you again.
but they're kind of alright. You can probably feel free to replace them, though.
Oh, welcome home, big bro.
And, well, it's the end of an exam period. So we have another reward. The bead ring this time. Just always feels so amazing getting these. Like all of the Nanako exam rewards, this is protagonist only. Increases evasion against magic. I think that's effectively the same as the Angelic Grace skill. I like the paper armband too, but we may as well swap it out for this one. I forget if I have an unfinished model. I'm pretty sure he gave us another unfinished model after we finished that last one, because we're supposed to be making a model tonight. Which will give a boost to diligence, which is nice. In fact, we're pretty close to max diligence, I think. And obviously we have one if we're, you know, making it now. Yeah, sometimes there are pretty tiny pieces in these kits. Depending on whether or not you have to paint this, sometimes assembling it in sub-assemblies can be good.
Good morning.
Oh, I think it's this scene.
Yo!
Yeah, more encouragement of shippers. We need one of those giant super umbrellas for that.
It's quite all right.
And yet no one's saying anything about the fact that you and Yosuke are under the same umbrella. And meanwhile, Yosuke in his head is like, wait a minute, what does that imply with what I'm doing right now?
Hey!
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
you know, if this argument keeps going on, then there's not really going to be much points to him even using an umbrella. And yeah, there are options, there are, like, options for all three of these.
Huh? Huh?
Again, more encouragement of shippers. And I think that's what ends up happening regardless of what you do. Although I think if you go with Naoto yourself, you do get a bit of a different scene. The thing about the idiot's gonna make himself sick reminds me of there's something that comes up in a lot of anime and other things where there's like a Japanese superstition that idiots don't get sick. Like, I guess because they're too dumb to realize it.
Good day.
I like how she says, I'm not used to meeting you here because this is literally the first time in the whole game she's done this. Yeah, her house was broken into. Some strange person gave her a possible calling card.
Senpai?
And Ayane is available. Which means she's ready to rank up as well, which is pretty nice since her previous rank took ages to raise. Well, that's kind of depressing. Not sure if that's the best reason to want to be on the student council. Well, yeah, we do, just not right now. Okay, then. Some more weird rumors are going around our class. Wow, he's suddenly turned around completely. Okay, that's worrying. Yeah, someone in town was talking about that. Yeah, I guess their dialogue does change a little bit depending on what score that you got. I never really knew about that thing with this Kashiwagi Summer School that you got for doing really badly on your exams. Huh. Gas mask is a little extreme. Haunted houses are not dull. They're not dull at all. Don't ever put a haunted house in a school ever again. A mysterious, forgotten childhood friend. That sounds like you've got the makings of a spin-off anime in the works. Oh boy, I'm afraid of what Kashiwagi has in store for the Culture Festival. Okay, so yeah, this predated it by ages, but this line is so insane in light of a certain movie franchise that, again, came out way later than this. So I'm guessing he's actually referring to Old Man Daidara there. But yeah, that line, I still can't, but like, I remember, like, I found that line in my first playthrough and I was like, holy crap. It was as if they knew. I'm not sure she'd like that kind of attention. Well, technically yes, because she's, yeah, one of the people we'll be hanging out with. I just wanted to talk to some people around the school, because their dialogue is, yeah, different in the lead up to the Culture Festival, which is gonna stop very, very soon. Okay, that's kind of scary. I mean, we know that people die when it fogs over, but I don't think the fog itself is to blame. And hey, she's achieved what she wanted too. Maybe she should set up some kind of, like, student art gallery for her class's project for the Culture Festival. But yeah, today we're going to take advantage of the fact that Naoto is one of the very few social links that are available on rainy days. Walk her home anyway. Yeah, you have to be very insistent with Naoto to get through this, but due to its ability to be done on most rainy days... Oh, it's this rank. I've been waiting for this rank. And also the fact that it doesn't actually require that many points to rank up, Naoto's social link goes by surprisingly quickly despite it unlocking so late into the game, and that's probably intentional. She is a party member, so she does get major benefits to her social link being done. Is this another threat letter? It's actually kind of cool. A challenge for a duel is the option she prefers the most here. No, you'd need to throw a glove at someone for that, and then that person would need to keep that glove for a while, despite having no logical reason to. So, I have a dumb headcanon here, that this is actually a situation like Ken from Toy Story 3, and this is actually from Kanji. Meanwhile, Kanji cried out in pain and he doesn't know why. Should we tell her about Rise or not? But, you know, this is true. Naoto does get a lot of unwanted attention from people who just don't really know her at all. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, but with Fortune started, the only social link that we don't have is Judgments. Naoto's follow-up attack, like all of them, I'll be talking about it when we see it. It's actually one of the most famous in the game, though, because it's kind of insane. Not in terms of gameplay effect, but more in terms of how it looks. And now that Dojima's back, we can talk to him and get our, That is not a good price sticker reward. Do muscle drinks still inflict bad status ailments on you? Well, I have 5 of those. Okay, they're all the way at the bottom of the item list, and yes, they can cause rage. But yeah, because Dojima's back, we can now get our exam reward from him. $50,000 this time, which was kind of very much needed. And let me just check, because I'm having a hard time believing this. Yeah, Tower is gonna go to rank 6 tonight already. I guess we don't have that much else to do with our nighttime, but still, it's kind of insane how fast this social link is going.
Like this?
My head filled that in with everything, because that kind of describes you, Narukami, in a lot of ways.
Mister.
Yeah, I've got a funny story about this. So when I was in Italy for a like just on a holiday recently, went there after going to France and London, well, Paris specifically, and also Rome specifically for Italy. So what happened was I tried to use some of my like very early primary school / elementary school Italian, and I couldn't remember it because my brain first went to French and then to Japanese. It must be that, like, you're like, okay, this is a foreign language, so you go to your default foreign language, and then in this case, you can actually say, anything. No, they're not all stupid. Yeah, I get the feeling that your mother's one of those parents. Yeah. I mean, they kind of mean well, but... and even though this is still academics, at least it gives him someone to talk to. Yeah, that parent thing is, let's just say that when I was growing up, there were a lot of high schools around me that I wasn't sent to because I'll just say that they were apparently infamous for having a lot of parents like this. Like, exactly like
Can you
Shoes.
tutor me a little more?
Who would be completely obsessed with their kids' results.
Please come back again.
And would be a little insane about it, and all the kids would just have to do tutoring, and it doesn't sound like a great environment to be in when everyone is like that.
Hey.
I mean, those schools do tend to get the top results, but that often leads to them only caring about results and not about... I don't know, this is probably a bit too, I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't exactly say, like, political, but... to do with schools and stuff like that. I guess you could call it school politics. Yeah, well, hopefully Teddy won't be there, because then he'll be doing that whole scoring a hot stud line, and yeah. Okay, well, you did talk about, like, canneries before. Oh, that's funny, I was just talking about France and Italy before. Yeah, I wonder how much this is actually true. And this is one of those that doesn't really give any... that you don't really have to give any answers to. But yeah, it was just kind of weird how my brain, when I was in Italy and trying to speak Italian, just kept going to French because I was in France last, and my mother was using some of her old French there, so I had that in my head. And then my brain immediately went to Japanese. Because again, it's like almost my default foreign language mode. Like, yeah, I thought I'd actually be okay at it. I'd be like, oh, I remember, like, yeah, it was saying thank you, like, for meals. Like, my head first went to merci, and then it went to arigato, before it went to, grazie? Okay, that's a lot of people who are approaching us today. Well, I'm sure you want to know about it because, you know, you're in love with one of the ones who was murdered, but yeah, we can't exactly say that we're jumping into TVs and helping solve it. Kanji's mother. Is that the next rank up of his social link? I forget if it is or not. I know that there is some point where you actually can talk to Kanji's mother in the shopping district and she gives you a costume. I don't know if it's this point or not. Yes, it is! So this is actually one of the game's more obscure costumes. To get this, you have to get Kanji to rank 8, I believe, and then talk to his mother in the shopping district. It's either rank 8 or rank 7, but I think it makes more sense if it's rank 8. Well, that's kind of depressing. No was more being praised by a politician, so the rumors are already mutating a little bit. Well, someone else says that the kid's a she. Oh yeah, and another kitten shows up after you've completed the second Feed the Cat request, so they're probably this cat's kittens. Oh no. 2 words, restraining order. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Naoto. Yeah, I like to go around town talking to people, but I do really wish this game had a certain feature that is in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I think it's actually kind of in Persona 5 as well. I just love how in Xenoblade 2, the NPC's speech bubbles have a star in them if they have something new to say. Every RPG should do this. And in P5, their speech bubbles do get grayed out if you've already talked to them, so I think it kind of does still do something like that. Oh, is it another love note from Kanju Tatsumu?
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely looked different. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a coincidence. And by someplace more private, she means... Yes, it's this place, which means this rank can be done during rainy days. Not all of her rank ups can be. Dear Detective, your prized possessions are in my hand. Can you recover them? The game is afoot. Wait a minute! So, judging by the timeline of this game, this is set in 2011, and Persona 5 is like around 2016-ish. Wow. 10-year-old Joker robbing from a legendary detective. He had guts even back then. Yes, it's not like some major incident involving Phantom Thieves will happen in this country in a few years. I still wonder, like, what Naoto would have been doing at the time. I have a headcanon as to what she might have been doing, but, yeah, any option here is okay.
Huh?
But I can't say that idea that I have, because that would be huge Persona 5 spoilers. Also, not to mention, this could get Joker arrested before his game even starts, and that would break canon. And yet, I think what she's feeling is fun. Strangely enough. We have now officially become Naoto's Watson. Yeah, obviously, you just can't avoid making the Phantom Thief jokes at this point, playing this after P5. It definitely, you know, predated them even thinking about that. I mean, Persona 5 wasn't even supposed to be about Phantom Thieves at all. It was supposed to be about backpacking and world travel, which is actually where the Pyramid Dungeon comes from. It's like the one dungeon from early development that was still kept. But anyway, from accepting the Phantom Thieves challenge, we learned Mind Charge. Maybe Joker was secretly trying to help us all along. And yeah, so with this, yeah, I'm not going to be using physical attacks on Naoto. You want Mind Charge, trust me, it's one of her biggest assets. In other words, this investigation won't proceed until you do her social link ranks. But they kind of justify it by the fact that
again.
you're working on the actual murder cases as well.
Oh, welcome back.
Just keep getting deliveries. More chess keys, prize stickers, and extra prize stickers. And so tonight, we can work as a janitor in the hospital, and I did a spend time earlier, so the guide is telling us to do a spend time tonight, but since I already did that, and I was actually ahead for this one already, I might be ready to hit rank 10 tonight. Let me just see, am I? Yes, I am. And I think now's as good a time as any for, well, I mean, any time's a good time for a rank 10 social link, but I mean, not as much else has happened during this part, most likely, so, well, we'll also get this. Yeah, blah, 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 scary ghosts, blah, we don't care anymore. We already have max courage. That is a really big TV. It's almost as big as the ones in Junes. Let's just not accidentally,
Sorry.
you know, fall over into it or anything in front of her, because that would raise serious questions. Goodbye. This is also the realization she comes to in the anime, when she barely gets like 3 minutes of total screen time in an episode that already has like 5 other social links in it. They did do a decent job of adapting all of those, I feel. That's in the Summer Vacation episode 2-parter, by the way. I guess envelope in her hand, maybe. Although some people have said that it actually does resemble the stitching of cleaning cloths in Japan. Please don't take that line out of context.
Will you take this? I give you the person I was when I was here.
Everyone goes through different phases in their lives. Different personas for different times. It's now time for Sayoko to change hers. That's kind of a dark title from a Persona awarded from such a heartwarming rank 10, and for a game that's main theme is finding the truth, but hey, we'll take any help we can get. Beelzebub is a high-ranking devil from many Abrahamic traditions, sometimes being depicted as Lucifer's right-hand man, and presiding over the deadly sin of gluttony. His name comes from Baal Zebub, which means Lord of the Flies, which may be a pun on the term Baal Zebul, meaning Lord of the High Place or Lord of the Manor. It's often agreed that he's a demonized version of a Canaanite deity, but it's hard to tell exactly which one. Many sources say it's the quote-unquote Canaanite god Baal, but that's not really a god, because Baal is just a title, which means owner and by extension lord, and is applied to several Canaanite gods. For further naming confusion, some sources treat Beelzebub as just being another name for Satan. And as a random high school nerd moment that none of you probably asked for, I mainly know Beelzebub from being mentioned in the Porter's speech in Shakespeare's Macbeth. And the main reason I know that is because that speech is such blatant filler that it ironically wraps around to being one of the most memorable parts of the play to me. In terms of gameplay, Beelzebub is another Persona we won't have access to for a very long time, at level 81 and requiring a very complicated fusion spread involving some pretty high level personas, including his human avatar Baal Zebul from the Moon Arcana. He comes with a lot of immunities though, and a way to kind of get around his light weakness. However, one of his components, Seth, learns Null Light at level 72, so you might want to hold off on the fusion until that level so you can pass it down. Regarding skills to pass down, Beelzebub has access to quad elements via Seth's Wind skills, Belphegor's Elect skills, and can even inherit quite a few elemental amp skills through his components too. He can't inherit ice skills, but that doesn't matter because he already starts with Mabufudine. And he also innately has Mind Charge, and later Megadolon, but can also inherit a lot of mood orb boosting skills and Stagnant Air, several status ailment skills and Ghastly Wail, and even learns one of the strongest physical attacks in the game in Primal Force. Beelzebub is a very versatile persona overall, despite his somewhat lackluster stats for his level. Unfortunately, of all the things his skill card could be, it's only Primal Force. While good on paper, I find the majority of personas you'd want this on either learn it naturally or get something even better naturally.
What's right? What you should choose to do in life. The answers to those things lie within you. So long.
Real words of wisdom from a nurse we just met doing a janitor job at the hospital.